Hey guys, Bot925 here, playing FSX once again. Today, we will be flying the Boeing 747-400 LCF, or Dreamlifter, from Boeing Field. Let's get the engine started while we're at it. From Boeing Field to Nagoya, in Japan. Oh, spun up really fast. Do all doors closed? No. Come on. There we go. I'll get the lights set up then. Logo on wing. Oh. One engine on, second engine coming online. Good. Check so we don't need runway turn off, we do need landing. Right, does this thing have seat belt lights? We don't really need them. The Dreamlifter is used to transport parts from all over the world, or wherever, you know, the parts are made for the Dreamliner 787. It's a modified 747. Right, let me rephrase it. It is a heavily modified 747. I mean, the only thing that, if you look at it, you'll think is 747 is maybe the very rearmost part of the tail, but I think even that was modified. The cockpit, you know, so this bit, the landing gear, and the wings, and the engines. So, you know, quite extensively modified. Right, this is Everett Field. I will say this is not an actual route the Dreamlifter flies on. The Dreamlifter makes a stopover usually in Anchorage. From what I can tell, it's Charleston, Boeing Field, Anchorage, and then Nagoya. This thing's taking a long time to spool up. Or maybe I need to just give it full time. Seriously, I'm going to keep my eye on this. 4.2. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pull back. Slow mode. The thing is, I completely forgot what my cruising altitude is. I'm just going to go for 35,000, or maybe 36,000. Why can you not check that? Okay, hold on, I'm just going to pause and reset it so that we start with the engines on, because that one's taking way too long to spool up. So see you then. Right, I just checked, it's 39,000. Don't tell me it's stuck in that close zoom. At least tell me spot view isn't stuck. Yeah, this one's fine. Yeah, I prefer locked spot, but yeah, it's 36,000 feet we've got to climb to after takeoff. Well, not after takeoff, but let's get the speed up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just make sure the engines don't spill up straight away. Over 320 knots for ascent. Now go hold, altitude hold. Can't because that would do stuff. What's this? That I need to switch. There we go. We have the lights. There we go. Even though there's no logo on this aircraft. Which way is the nearest end of the runway? Shift B2. 1, 2. Flap set for takeoff. Hopefully this thing can fly from here. Alright, that's a bit glitchy. I think it is lengthened. What is that? Alright. Parking brake off. There, I'm keeping my eye on the wing. I don't want to hit the building. I guarantee it's going to hit the building now. At this rate of pushback, it probably will. I'm judging by the looks of the tail wall too, so. Actually, no, the tail wouldn't have. Better safe than sorry. No. Off we go to the end of the runway. Oh, there's an MD-80 there, which actually you might find MD-80s at the Boeing field because Boeing purchased McDonnell Douglas, so technically for a while they made the MD-80 series. Come on, keep turning. Yeah, this one does not have spoilerons or rear wheel steering. But yeah, this thing, the whole tail swivels. This is basically the Boeing version of the Beluga. Except this one's considerably bigger than the Beluga. And this is in a comparable category to the Antonov. It takes, this aircraft is fairly difficult to fly. Well, very difficult to land just because it's in a crosswind. Because of the size of the cargo holds of this. That's not... Oh, King Air. I'm going to just slew this aircraft onto the runway.
On taxiway. 200 feet remaining. On runway 13, right.
I don't know how to turn it off. Am I lined up properly? There, that'll do. Hit the brakes. Oh wait, no, I want to keep them up. The thing is, I can't zoom out really. Why do those show different things? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are they different? That will do. Just slowly trundling on down the runway. I've taken this off from Shannon, and hopefully Boeing has a longer runway than Shannon. Or at least the same length. We're only at 100 knots. That's not very fast. Go back and check on the speed. 140, 150. Rotate. Right, well, that was quite close. It's quite a slow rate of ascent. But anyway, positive rate. Gear up. Oh yeah, this building is the one I almost crashed into when I was landing here with the 757. And flaps up. Let's get the autopilot set up. Auto throttle speed hold. Why is the aircraft shaking? We're not stalling. In fact, we're gaining speed. Maybe it's because of the engines running at full power. But there we go, climbing out over Seattle. I'm not sure what the name of this airport is, but oh my god. Look over there, you can see something. I'm not sure what city that is. That's Seattle, definitely. Speed increasing, albeit very slowly. Surprisingly little air traffic. There's a 737, a Baron, a Skyhawk. I have no clue. Right, so that's over Seattle. So we're kind of. I think that is us. It's another. It's the Bravo, Skyhawk, Dash 8, A3. I think that's Seattle there. Caravan 737 Neojet, King Air. Oh yeah, this is the one I saw while taxiing. 7. Blah blah. Yeah, this is the MD-80. Okay, I'm going to pause this video and I'll see you guys once we begin our descent into Nagoya. Okay guys, we're beginning our descent into Nagoya? Is it Nagoya? Alright, we're descending to 26,000 feet. Why is this up here? Dum-de-dum. Camera relocation. Yeah, just work with me. Descend. Very quickly. Don't actually overshoot. 26,000 negative 3,000 feet per minute. And pop these spoilers. Please expert. Shut up. I'm doing my best. How's that going? Only here do you get a sense of, oh my god, this thing is fucking huge. Tokyo somewhere over there. Thing is, I can't tell if I'm bleeding from my face. No. I must have just been sweating. Jesus Christ. This is just one of... Yeah. When Boeing converted the first 747 to... What the? How the? Do I have speed? Hold on. Yeah, I'm just going to bring that back to 290. And slow the frick down. So see, that thing is... Right, you're 102 miles. Turn right, heading 275. Heading hold. Acknowledge assigned approach. That is quite a sharp turn. For, you know, this aircraft. Airbus made the Beluga, and this is Boeing's response. There's Mount Fuji, by the way, but, you know, damn. Just, if you just saw this, oh my, you know, this is one of those things you see and you're like, what the fuck have they done? But when Boeing converted its first the first 747 into this, the person who was in charge of the conversions, I believe, either called, wrote an email, or wrote a letter to the person who was, you know, in charge of the 747 program, and said, "We are sorry for what we did to your airplane. Yeah, it's ugly, but it flies." I think the real miracle here is that this bloody thing flies. What's our altitude? 28,000. A bit below. What's the point? Okay, that wants to be a pencil, but it's the world's... Am I sweating or am I drooling? Am I bleeding? I'm genuinely confused now. There's a lot more liquid there. Right, seriously, that is the world. Well, that's the bluntest pencil I've ever seen. And with the least bit of a tip. That came out wrong. Anyway, we're about to level off. In they go. Oh, bloody bastard. Send and maintain 16,000. Sometimes it just needs to be reminded. Yeah, that's just really cool the way you... Shut up, watch. There we go. I'll open up the map view, because I genuinely want to know where the bloody hell Nagoya is. Turns out, oh thank God. Hold on a second. Wait, what? Apparently Japan likes floating airports. For a second I thought this was a Kansai. But it's not Kansai. Obviously. Yes. Seriously, 100 miles away? It's probably on that plateau over there. Over there. Well, that's cool. This is one of those aircraft you look at and you think, well, you know, as I said, what are they thinking? But this was made for transporting the parts of the 787. I think they do, you know, actually, I do, oh wait, no. Aircraft. We still have fuel. Well, why don't they just fly straight to Nagoya instead of stopping in Anchorage? Of course, there's probably a very good reason. Also, it says it's operated by Atlas Air on Flight Radar 24, and I'm confused if, you know, is Atlas Air owned by Boeing, or is Boeing, like, contracted one of them out for just normal cargo ops? Yep, still descending. I'm going to speed up. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to speed up time. Good God. No, resist the temptation. Yeah, the tail swivel is quite a thing. So, why do they need to have this when, you know, why does it need to be this? Then again, as you know, Airbus converted an A300, which is, you know, the A300. I think it's the A300 600 ST Super Transporter. That's the Beluga. I actually did download a mod for that, but it doesn't really work. Yeah, like, could Boeing just not have converted, say, a 777 or something? Or even a 767? Would it not have the same effect? Now, there's probably a complicated reason, but I mean, I don't know that reason. Altitude 17,000. Let's just slowly begin retracting these. Actually, no, never mind. I'm going to pull these in like a smart person. Actually, forget that. There, speed brakes in. You see the wing lift quite a bit. 10,000 it is. That should take 2 minutes of descending. 10,000 feet. So negative 3,000. Alright, there you go. Contact Tokyo approach on 125.6. I'm 103 miles out. Usually when they say that, you're 50 miles out. Da 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 da. Yes. I'm just thinking for a moment. Yeah, Boeing has as far as I know, two aircraft with T-tails. You know, the 727 and the 717. All the rest are these conventional tails. But one aircraft tail configuration that Boeing doesn't have is the tail is basically the tail used by the Antonov 225, where there's the two tail fins and then the two vertical stabilizers. I guess you could say the shuttle transporter has that, but that's not really that's a different because of the central tailplane. You know what I'm talking about. We're close enough to. Well, actually, no. I'll just turn those on once we level off. To see, could the front of this be used for like a little? Could they just turn the Dreamlifter into like a little VIP transport? Well, to a VIP transport thing by having the front filled in with business / first class seats, first class. Yes, I'm doing what Kai does with 30 and 40. It's 30 and 40. And there you go. Wait, did I miss a thing? Yes, I did. Hold on. Yeah. Turn left. Oh god, please, for the... Climb and maintain 11,000. Right, mate. What did you say, 245? Yeah, at least these guys have the sense. Acknowledge. To tell me to climb over the bloody mountain. What is our speed, actually? Oh, we're doing fine. We will not stall. I was reading about Hong Kong Kai Tak. This is the old airport. And they said, like, the first thing, Hong Kong Kai Tak, the airport where 747s were flown like Cessnas. I'm just thinking, well, I'm glad I wasn't around this. Well, I'm glad I didn't have to fly there. Because, several flights ended up overshooting the runway. Wait, I need to climb to 12,000? What was the point of descending then, you Egypts? Egypt equals idiot. Just for those of you non-Irish / British people. Well, Japan's quite mountainous, it seems. That's a weird thing. There's these huge mountains, and then there's just these flat areas where the cities are. Yes, crewless. Time! Bloody hell. Acknowledge and set the autopilot for a descent to 10,000. Send at negative 3,000 feet per minute. Oh, there you go. Aircraft nose rises. That would take less than a minute. Boom. Whoa. Hold on. I think I might actually need to stick with normal speed. Acknowledge descent to 7,600. Centrair. Never bloody heard of it. Oh, wait, no, not this. Acknowledge the handoff. As the nose slowly rises. Okay, these spot still kind of functions, unlike locked spot, which is just super close to the aircraft. It should take just over a minute to descend. Now losing speed. What's red ND? What? I do not see a difference. Oh, is that elapsed time? We've been flying for 9 hours. I guess that could be correct. Oh yeah, I should probably pull these in. And instantly the aircraft climbs. So what I'm wondering is some part of the 787 manufactured in Nagoya? Well, no, actually, world map. What is that airport called? Though one that I thought at first was a not Kaitag, Kansai. Oh, did I call it Kaitag before? No, actually, quite close to it there. I need to know airport. Move this way. Cebu Centrair. Let me find that. Search. Hold on here for a sec. Cebu Centrair Airport. Cancel. I'm much more interested in images. Let's see if it's international, but yeah, no, that's just a non-existent one. I'm just thinking, is that the one with the for that one single mission? Because I think there are some Easter eggs in these missions. So for example, the one with the Jungle Temple, the one where you have to do a James Bond style mission. That's the Tokyo Executive Transport. If I look out there, yeah, there's a thing there. There is a thing there. Yeah, no scheisse. Did I miss a hand? Oh. Scheisse. 29901. Yes, that's what I have it set to. That's okay then. Heading 160. It's going to maintain 2,200. Thank God I actually realized this, relatively early. Acknowledge descent at negative 3,000 feet per minute. At first I thought that was the airport. I was thinking, oh well, that's not going to end well, is it? Because I have no clue where the airport is. Just imagine the citizens there just looking up and seeing this aircraft just flying at a 45-degree bank angle. That would be pretty strange. The thing is, whenever you just see that leaning, you almost feel, you yourself are leaning, and you will, therefore kind of try to correct like that. There's the airport. So once we level out, that should be roughly ahead of us. There's an airport down here. Originating. Oh, is that? Yeah, that's that. I see a thing. Is that the airport? Because if so... Good God. Like, this would also be where I slow the frick down. Slow the frick down back to 150. Slow her down. Slow her down. Thing is, if 12 miles! Jeez. That's not good. Acknowledge. I have the runway in sight. I should probably close these and set flaps to 1. Because, it's just like setting the flaps on a normal 747. Except this one's considerably freaking bigger. 2,000. Well. Acknowledge approach clearance. Tune Nagoya Tower. Oh god, that was horrible. That was horrible. Ah. See, we're at the right altitude for the approach now. That's scary. Heading hold off. Ah. Make straight in runway 16. I'm panicking if you haven't figured that out yet. Igor, once again, seated. No cramps given. Gear down because we're closer to the airport than I would normally be. Also, yeah, altitude hold off. Altitude hold. Disengage. Well, clear to land runway 16. Acknowledge landing clear. Oh, there we go. Skype thing. Fuck it off. Oh, I've only landed this aircraft once at JFK. It went fine. You know, my landings weren't that good at the time. Back in the good old days. I've had this installed for so long and I was just wanting to make a video with it. But then I got other stuff. I mean, seriously, I got this before the 707 and the 727 and the 717. Like, I think I got this before the 737-200. That's been in 2 of my videos. Just think, man, how many videos has it been in? Oh, please tell me for the... Oh, God. Right, horrible approach.
Approaching 16.
Yes. I know. Auto throttle off my aircraft. I need this thing to be moving slightly faster there. Could I zoom out a bit further? I need to get a better overall sense of where the bloody hell we are. Yeah, I also have to fly this aircraft like a bloody Cessna. And, trust me, this aircraft does not handle like a bloody Cessna. I have a small bit of engine... I have a lot of engine power. Now, please tell me for the love... We're aligned. Yeah, too high. We're too damn high. Yeah, boom. Flare. Please tell me we're going to be on the runway. Yeah, we're going to be on the runway. We're done. Reversers are active. Brakes are active. That was actually not... The landing itself, you know, following the approach was not that bad. Exit runway when able. Dum. Dum. I love how the slats are already almost fully pulled in, whereas the flaps are barely directed. Yeah, no, I almost called them flapper-ons. Actually, yeah, but since that's where most of the gates are, I guess I'll turn off here. Like, hey, is this aircraft responding to my commands? Yes, it is. Okay. Hey, aircraft, you're responding to what I'm telling you. Turn. Working on it. There. Heavy breathing, hit the brakes. True Nagoya, ground request taxi to gates. Okay, Golf 11 using taxiway, I have no idea what W actually is on the actual thing. Okay, at least it's not that far. The thing is, I've genuinely gotten so kind of panicked over that approach that my stomach hurts now. That happens when I'm stressed sometimes. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Oh god, what the frick? Turn, 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 turn. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not sure how much it helps, but... We're also going to be taking a bit of a shortcut. The weird thing is, you can see it's barely turning now. If I hit the brakes, it turns considerably better. Okay, slew mode.
On taxiway. On taxiway.
This airport seems grossly inept at handling this aircraft. Or
On
inadequate, sorry.
taxiway. On taxiway. On taxiway. On taxiway.
And hit the brakes. And power her down. Right. Yeah, I guess we can use the jetway. No, we cannot use the jetway. Right, Shift E. Open that door, Shift E3 will open the small little sidey cargo doors. See, there's actually a little inside, the bottom cargo compartment. That's not the big cargo compartment. This will do. Yeah, out comes the thing. It's a spec. Why are there just steps in there? Oh yeah, I should probably turn off the lights. Whoops. Off. There we go, that's better. Why are you here? I'm talking to the little thing. Yeah. That was a flight with the Dreamlifter from Everett, or from Boeing Field to Nagoya in Japan. I'm Boss 1925. Goodbye.